Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Today we are back on the Drone Age dev server and it's time to have a look at a new coastal machine that's coming to the German tech tree in the next major update. This is the KM-5 and it's going to be a premium. Weirdly enough, I thought this would fit actually better in the tech tree because there's this, space here. But they've made it a premium vehicle. It's going to be a GE vehicle as well. Has a 15mm turret on it, which is encased here, very similar to a lot of the other German machines which have this similar mount on it. And then it also has a dual-mounted 7.92mm in what can only be classed as a very uncomfortable chair harness. The vehicle also has access to torpedoes though, so it does have secondary uses, which is good. It looks like it's the ones which kind of flop out of the back, but we'll have a look at them later on. And the main difference between this and something like the LS series is this has a little bit more survivability. The LS4 has 7 crew members, 5-2 on the armor. The KM5 has 13 crew members and 5-2 on the armor. So technically it has more people on board, therefore the vehicle will have to take more shots to take out those crew and it will be a little bit better. So that's, the large difference between if you want to play the LS4 with the 20mm or the KM5 with the 15 and also the 7.92s. The actual torpedoes themselves have a travel distance of 6 kilometers. They're pretty slow in the water, only 44 kilometers an hour compared to some of the other ones which reach up to about 80, even more sometimes. The explosive mass on them is good enough to be able to nuke anything that they hit, so you don't have to worry about that too much. And all of the other parts of it is pretty standard. You get access to the artillery, you get the 15mm belts, so you can either have the APIT belts, which pen up to 33, or you can have the HE belts, which are going to pen a lot less per round, but also should do a bit more damage if they do pen, or even if they don't cause a bunch of different fires. Then artillery support on the vehicle as well. Looking at the X-ray, you have the ammunition storage in the front, so pop goes the weasel. You have the bridge and the radio station in the center, and of course the Diddy engines over here for the vehicle, plus some fuel tanks and also some LT-1A1 torpedoes, or the tubes I should say, on the back. So it's a pretty standard vehicle. It has quite a long reload rate on the 15mm, but also understand it's got a huge clip on it, so you don't have to worry about it too much. It's kind of an odd one, they've obviously trying to get more people into the coastal area for Germany. They probably found that the LS series, maybe people are not liking it or they're not buying it or something, but it's just it's kind of come out the blue as a vehicle to add. You can see it has 600 rounds of ammo per clip, so you're never going to have any issues with running out for a long time. But yeah, the amount of damage the 15 can do is actually quite impressive because it has quite a high fire rate. The main thing you got to watch out for is actually jamming the thing. As long as you don't jam it, you are completely fine with doing it. You can see our boy on the back here on the mount. He can fire his 7.92s pretty efficiently if he wants to. And then, of course, you have the 15mm wailing away as a primary gun on the first part of it. So the actual torpedoes themselves, the way that they work, let's say that we're launching them at the destroyer, they launch out the back and then push themselves forward. So that's why they don't have the initial speed behind them. There's actually quite a few torpedoes in the game that do that. Like there's certain machines where the torpedoes actually loop around to hit the target, which I think is pretty cool indeed. But the 15 will be able to tear apart lower tier PT boats. It'll be able to tear apart many different vehicles like that, which will be quite nice. And the torpedoes can be used to try and block off certain areas so people can't move through them, or just to try and go after larger ships. I've seen that some people kind of like taking lower tier premiums into higher tier battles because they have pretty decent speed behind them, and it means that they can go after destroyers and things like that and give them a bad time. And maybe the idea is that would be the same for this thing. This also looks like Warbond shot bait, if I'm honest with you, so they can stop adding in that Japanese plane with the kind of above engines on it. They'll put this thing in instead, so maybe that's why it's been added. But it also just means that some people have another option for a premium at the lower levels of the German tech tree. As always, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank Nicholas Richardson, Elove Goat, Pyman675, Winter Scientist, Merciless Reaper, Jerry Prevolt, Megadino King, Orange Tail, Teddy, John Ryman, Universe, Ambrosius McClellan, Daniel Stanton, Moxie, B. Young, Uncle Bean, Sem Arslan, Derek R., Bareen, Lafouche, and Samuel Slick for supporting the channel.